Remember Ron Howard? He used to be an actor. He became famous playing Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show, then Richie Cunningham on Happy Days, before he moved behind the camera. The Oscar-winning director's new project is a documentary released by CBS Films, The Untold Story.
We went to the wrap party. This was it for The Andy Griffith Show. And Andy was up there on the microphone talking. I was the sheriff's son, growing up. You know, mother having passed away, but you know, looking to Aunt B as a sort of a mother figure, but mostly leaning on my father.
Lucky you to be able to work on what's probably the most incredible project. How did you end up with this?
Remarkable. A man named Nigel Sinclair, who's a fantastic producer, has done a lot of great rock and roll documentaries, was also involved in a movie that I directed called Rush about Formula One racing.
Yeah.
Minutes ago, Ron Howard shook the world with devastating new details about his struggles behind the scenes. From his charming days as Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show to his rise as a top Hollywood director, he's seen it all. But beneath that smile, Ron has been hiding battles that no one knew about, until today. His journey from Mayberry to the director's chair was fraught with more challenges than we could imagine. Tune in as we uncover the specific struggles Ron Howard faced, revealing the shocking truths behind his iconic smile. The Ron Howard Odyssey. The story begins with a simple, pure bond between a father and his son. Opie, a young boy, looks up to his dad with wide-eyed admiration, even when he finds himself in trouble. This boy, Ron Howard, first captured hearts as Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show, but his journey didn't end there. Growing up on a television set shaped his future in unexpected ways, leading him to become one of Hollywood's most respected directors. Today we will explore how his early role influenced his life and career, uncovering some surprising insights that he himself has shared recently. Stay with us as we delve into the highs and lows faced by one of the most beloved figures in entertainment. As the credits of his childhood rolled, Ron faced a pivotal choice: remain Opie to the world or redefine himself behind the camera. Paul, a close observer, once said he certainly chose a bold path as he watched him, now an adult, reminiscing about his childhood. The Andy Griffith Show, which brought him into American living rooms, remains a beloved classic. The show first aired on CBS on October 3, 1960, and ran until April 1, 1968, with 8 seasons and 249 episodes. Even today, it continues to warm the hearts of viewers across generations with its memorable characters, gentle humor, and a portrayal of simple, small-town life in the South. The series began as a spin-off from an episode of The Danny Thomas Show. Andy Griffith appeared as Andy Taylor, the sheriff of the small town of Mayberry, North Carolina. In his role, Andy was a calm, wise, and kind man who served not only as a sheriff, but also as a loving father to his young son, Opie. The show's charm was deeply rooted in these relationships and the values they represented. What made the show truly unforgettable were its characters. Barney Fife, Andy's best friend and deputy, portrayed by Don Knotts, was a well-meaning but clumsy officer whose mistakes often led to hilarious situations. Don Knotts' portrayal of Barney earned him 5 Emmy Awards, cementing his place in television history. Another beloved character, Aunt B, played by Frances Bavier, was Andy's aunt and the household's heart, offering kindness, wisdom, and traditional Southern cooking. At the center of this world was Opie Taylor, the young boy whose innocence and curiosity made him a favorite among viewers. His portrayal of Opie was so genuine that many who watched the show still feel as though they watched him grow up before their eyes. But why does this show, set in the 1960s, feel like it belongs to an even earlier time? Even Andy Griffith himself once said that the show seemed to evoke a time more like the 1930s, a simpler era when people resolved their problems with friendly talks on a front porch. This nostalgic feeling is one reason the show has remained so beloved, offering viewers a chance to escape to a gentler world where kindness and understanding always win. When it first aired, The Andy Griffith Show was a phenomenal success, consistently scoring high in the Nielsen ratings and ending its final season as the most-watched show on TV. Decades later, it remains hugely popular, with reruns still airing on various channels like TV Land, MeTV, and others. The show's timeless appeal is clear, with many fans still turning to it for comfort and joy. Every year, fans gather in Mount Airy, North Carolina, the real-life hometown of Andy Griffith, to celebrate Mayberry Days. This festival is a tribute to the show, allowing fans to experience the warmth and charm of Mayberry and remember why it has stayed in their hearts for so long. But behind the smiles and laughter of the show, the real lives of the cast were not always as peaceful. From the screen to reality, discover the true story behind the smiles. The Strange Trials of Andy Griffith. Andy Griffith was famous for playing the friendly sheriff on The Andy Griffith Show, but his real life was much more complicated. George Lindsay, who played Goober Pyle, shared in his 1995 book that most of the actors on the set were afraid of Andy. Every Monday night, Andy would call the actors to talk about their performances from the past week. If they didn't get a call, they knew they might face his anger the next day. Andy Griffith had a quick temper, and this often caused problems in his work and personal life. A lot of Andy's anger came from his past. He grew up in Mount Airy, North Carolina, and felt like he didn't fit in because of his poor background. This feeling of being left out stayed with him throughout his life and affected his career. He often had a tense relationship with Don Knotts, who played Barney Fife. Knotts won several awards for his role, and this made Griffith feel jealous. This jealousy, along with Griffith's temper, made their friendship hard. Knotts had a difficult past as well. He grew up in West Virginia with a father who was abusive and drank heavily. Their tough childhoods shaped them in different ways, sometimes bringing them closer, but often causing fights. Despite these conflicts, Griffith and Knotts shared a deep bond that went beyond their TV roles. But in real life, their actions often did not match the clean image of their characters. Both men were unfaithful to their wives and even went on double dates with their girlfriends, which was very different from the family-friendly show that made them famous. Griffith had a well-known affair with his co-star Annetta Corsott, who played Helen Crump. One time, a crew member, pretending to be a waiter, caught Griffith with Corsott in a private moment, causing quite a scene on set. Knotts also had his share of personal struggles. He was married to Catherine Metz but fell in love with Lynn Paul, an assistant to Griffith's manager. When he told his wife about the affair, it led to their divorce in 1964. Griffith had other affairs, including one with actress Joanna Moore. Meanwhile, Frances Bavier, who played Aunt Bee, often found Griffith's constant joking too much to handle. Bavier came from a rich New York family, while Griffith came from a poorer background. Despite their differences, they made peace before Bavier died in 1989. But there were fun times on set too. The cast liked to play tricks on each other to keep things light. Once they even stole Griffith's shoes, leaving him no choice but to wear his character's boots home. These playful moments helped balance out the tension. He had a different start in life. He was born into a family involved in the entertainment industry in Duncan, Oklahoma. His parents, who were already in Hollywood, gave him a good base for his future. Even as a child actor, he managed to focus on his studies, attending the School of Cinematic Arts at USC, though he didn't finish. Playing Opie made him famous and gave him a chance to learn from experienced actors and directors. He later took on many different roles like Winthrop Peru in The Music Man and Richie Cunningham in Happy Days, and eventually became a successful director. The story of Andy Griffith and his co-stars is filled with both happy and sad moments. While there was drama behind the scenes, the bonds they formed and the laughter they shared on screen are still loved by fans today. Even with the pressures of fame and personal struggles, their performances left a lasting mark. Every laugh and every moment of tension on the show reminds us that the actors were real people with complex lives, just like their characters. Would their lives and friendships have been different without the pressures of fame? It's hard to say, but their stories continue to captivate us, showing that even in the hardest times there can be moments of light. Next, explore how a classic TV friendship shaped a hit show. The Fonzi Effect and Ron Howard's Rise. In Henry Winkler's portrayal of Arthur Fonzie Fonzarelli, a tough yet charismatic greaser, his natural chemistry with Ron Howard played a key role in making the television show a hit. Their bond, evident both during and after filming, helped boost the popularity of the series. Ron was a part of Happy Days until 1980, after which he shifted his focus towards his ambition of becoming a film director, though he still made guest appearances on the show in its later years. Ron Howard's acting in the 1973 movie American Graffiti, directed by George Lucas, was widely applauded.
The movie, set in the early 60s, captured the essence of that era with great authenticity and went on to be a huge hit, both critically and commercially. This film was also the inspiration behind Happy Days. In 1976, he took on roles alongside famous actors like John Wayne and Lauren Bacall in The Shootist, which was John Wayne's last film, marking an important moment in cinema history. These varied roles broadened his acting repertoire and deepened his interest in cinema. Reflecting on his early days as a child actor, he often mentioned how the film sets felt like a second home to him, and he learned much by observing the interactions between the cast and crew. These early experiences significantly shaped his understanding of filmmaking. In 1977, he made his directorial debut with Grand Theft Auto, a low-budget comedy action movie he wrote with his father, Rance Howard. This opportunity came about through a unique deal with the renowned producer Roger Corman, where he agreed to act in Eat My Dust in exchange for the chance to direct. From 1978 to 1982, he directed several TV movies for NBC, including Skyward in 1980, starring Bette Davis. These projects honed his directing skills and set the stage for his major break in 1982 with Night Shift, which was a critical and commercial success, cementing his reputation as a talented director. His directorial success continued with the 1984 romantic comedy Splash, which was both a critical and commercial success, further establishing him in Hollywood. He directed the science fiction comedy drama Cocoon in 1985, another hit that won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for Don Ameche. In 1988, he collaborated again with George Lucas on Willow, a big-budget fantasy adventure movie. He ended the 1980s with Parenthood in 1989, a family comedy that was very successful, earning over $100 million domestically and receiving 2 Academy Award nominations. The 1990s saw his directing career continue to flourish, with 1995 marking a significant milestone with the docudrama Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, and Bill Paxton. This film was a major box office success and received 9 Academy Award nominations. In 2001, he directed A Beautiful Mind, a biographical drama about mathematician John Nash starring Russell Crowe, which won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. Following this, he directed Cinderella Man in 2005 and The Da Vinci Code in 2006, starring Tom Hanks. In 2008, he directed Frost and Nixon, based on the interviews between David Frost and Richard Nixon, which was critically acclaimed and earned 5 Academy Award nominations. More recently, he directed Rush in 2013, a sports drama about the rivalry between Formula Uno drivers James Hunt and Niki Lauda, and In the Heart of the Sea. In 2015, a survival drama about the sinking of the whaling ship Essex. In 2018, he took over the directing duties for Solo: A Star Wars Story after the original directors were replaced. Despite facing challenges, his career showcases his versatility and dedication as a director across various film genres. Now, uncover the personal stories behind a director's journey. The strange story of Ron Howard's lifelong romance. Ron Howard is a well-known name in Hollywood, not just for directing, but also for producing films. He runs a company called Imagine Entertainment with Brian Grazer, and together they have made many successful movies and TV shows. This partnership has strengthened his influence in the film industry. But beyond his career, there is a quieter story about his personal life, a story about love and commitment. He has been married to Cheryl Alley since June 7, 1975. Their relationship began when they were teenagers at John Burroughs High School in California. He remembers the moment he knew Cheryl was the one for him, a feeling that has lasted nearly 50 years. Many people have wondered how they have managed to stay together for so long. Now 70, he says there is no magic formula. Instead, he shares some practical and sincere advice. One of the key things, according to him, is communication. He believes in open and honest discussions, which he sees as vital for overcoming challenges and understanding each other. Good communication, he says, helps to build a strong connection, but he also admits that luck plays a part. Sometimes people grow together, other times they drift apart. This is something no one can control, and he feels fortunate that he and Cheryl have grown together over the years. support has also been crucial in their marriage. When he shifted from acting to directing, a move that eventually earned him an Oscar, Cheryl's support was always there. Her constant encouragement helped him achieve his dreams, and this support has been a key part of their long-lasting marriage. They also share a deep compatibility, enjoying each other's company and holding similar values and principles, which has helped them face many challenges together. For over 4 decades, Ron and Cheryl have raised 4 children: Bryce Dallas, twins Jocelyn Carlisle and Paige Carlisle, and their son Reed Cross. Their family has grown to include 5 grandchildren. The love and strength of their relationship have shaped their children's lives, teaching them the importance of strong values and mutual respect. Cheryl's character and strong will have not only inspired him, but also guided their children to adopt these values. As they grow older together, their bond continues to inspire others. It shows that a strong relationship isn't built on perfection, but on the small, everyday moments of care, patience, and understanding. They remind us that true love takes time, effort, and a bit of luck. It is a story that teaches us all what is possible when love is nurtured with dedication and commitment. In the story of Ron and Cheryl, a single shining quality stands out: patience. Patience, like a guiding light, has helped them build a life together, brick by brick, moment by moment. He speaks with admiration about Cheryl's deep well of patience, describing it as a remarkable gift. It is this patience that has been their anchor, helping them navigate the storms and calm waters of a long-lasting relationship. With each passing year, their bond grows stronger, a testament to the power of enduring love. In the early scenes of The Andy Griffith Show, a young boy named Opie Taylor tosses a rock across the still waters of Mears Lake. But this memorable moment wasn't filmed at Mears Lake at all. It was actually shot at Franklin Canyon Lake in California. At that time, he, the child actor playing Opie, was only 6 years old. He recalls how hard it was to throw the stone with his small, weak arms. In his book, The Boys, a Memoir of Hollywood and Family, he shares a little secret. After the first few tries, he only pretended to throw the stone, while a crew member hidden behind some bushes did the real throwing. Finally, peek behind the scenes of a child actor's life on set. A Hollywood exploration. Now, at 70 years old, he looks back on those days with a mix of fondness and clear-eyed understanding. Those early years on the set of a TV show gave him a glimpse into both the make-believe magic of television and the harsher realities of grown-up life. Together with his brother Clint, he often reflects on how their parents kept them grounded, despite their unusual Hollywood upbringing. Their parents' guidance was filled with love and concern, not driven by a desire for fame or fortune. As a child actor, he was often surrounded by adults who sometimes forgot he was just a kid. The show was filmed at Daisy Lou Studios, where old-timers worked, men who swore freely and drank heavily. He remembers how the prop master was often tipsy by midday, and the constant smoke on set made his eyes sting. Beyond the rough language and behavior of the adults, he also saw things he couldn't quite understand, like strange drawings on the bathroom walls that puzzled his young mind. One day, his father Rance explained what those drawings were and told him to stay away from such things. Despite the roughness of his surroundings, many of the crew members showed him kindness. Yet this kindness was not shown to everyone equally. Jim Neighbors, who played Gomer Pyle, was different. He was openly gay, a fact that was not easily accepted in those days. Behind his back, some crew members would whisper or use hurtful words, a stark reminder of the prejudice that existed even among those who otherwise seemed kind. He also saw the struggles of other actors on the show, like Andy Griffith, who played his father on screen. Andy was a talented actor, but off-screen, his life was filled with its own set of challenges. But what happens when the lines between reality and performance start to blur? For him, those blurred lines offered lessons that went beyond the script and the screen. These lessons were not just about the craft of acting, but about the complexities of the human experience itself. Every set, every scene, every quiet moment on the lot became a chapter in his own story, a story that was still being written one day at a time. Andy Griffith was a man known for his kindness and generosity, but beneath the surface he faced troubles that few knew about. Alongside him was his close friend and colleague, Don Knotts. Their bond began on Broadway in 1955, and over time they shared their deepest personal struggles. Both had difficulties in their marriages, and they often confided in each other about these private matters. He, a young actor who worked closely with Andy and Don, recalled an unusual conversation Andy had about a therapy session. In a lighthearted moment, Andy mentioned that the topic of hidden homosexuality had come up during his session. He then turned to Don and joked, asking if he might fit that description. Don, however, didn't see it that way. Andy also revealed that he spent long hours at work, perhaps to escape the problems waiting for him at home. He noticed how these long hours seemed to weigh heavily on Andy, causing him visible distress. One holiday season, Andy returned to the set with a bandaged hand. When asked about it, he confessed that in a fit of drunken frustration, he had punched a door. It was a sign of how deeply his personal troubles were affecting him. Meanwhile, young Ron Howard had his own challenges. As a child star, he became a target for teasing at school. His classmates mocked his character's name, Opie, twisting it into cruel jokes. This bullying reached a point where, in a moment of humiliation, he had an accident in front of his peers. Despite this embarrassment, his parents urged him to push through and complete the school year. He struggled, but over time he found the strength to make friends and stand up for himself. He learned valuable lessons about resilience even as he navigated the complexities of growing up on television. He came to understand the strength and empathy needed to survive in the entertainment industry. He credited his character, Opie Taylor, for playing a huge role in shaping his early life. As he grew older, he became a prominent child actor but remained wary of the pressures that come with fame. When it came to his own children, he was determined to protect them from the harsh realities of Hollywood. His eldest daughter, Bryce Dallas Howard, eventually became an actress and director, but he insisted she wait until adulthood before pursuing a career in the spotlight. He wanted to shield her from the relentless scrutiny and comparisons that might follow due to his own early fame. Despite his concerns about child acting, he never regretted his time on the show. Unlike some who might look back with resentment, he cherished the unique experience and the lessons it brought him. We've explored the highs and lows of a life in Hollywood. Do you think children should be exposed to the entertainment industry? Like, comment, and subscribe for more.